What's up, everybody? Welcome to System Scrappers Live. I'm David Wilson, and we're back again with another Friday stream where I forget how to speak, and we talk about whatever topic I've come up with for the week. And this week is no exception. Let me make sure that the actual chat is showing up on the screen. If anybody can help me out by sending a message in the IRC to see what's happening. Let me check the IRC here. I thought that it was working, but does not seem to be. Like, the chat doesn't show up even though I see the chat in the IRC. So apparently the overlay is broken. This is what happens whenever I start doing something to improve some part of the stream and then I get sidetracked because I'm doing something else in the week and then it never finishes. And then right at the beginning of the stream, I realize all the things that are broken and not working. And that's happening right now. So wow. So Auntie says, sign in to confirm that you're not a bot. And then Peter says, commercial break in progress. Sounds like a great start to the stream. So really professional operation here. I'm sorry, folks. It's been crazy, dude. So I know I've said this before, but in Greece in August, like, the whole country is shut down. There's no school, which is probably not a big surprise to a lot of people, but also there's no childcare. And me and my wife are both working. So we had 2 kids at home for the whole month, or I guess for the weeks that I wasn't on vacation, which was, challenging. You got kids at home while you're trying to work. Then, I started the new job like at the beginning of July. So everything's super, super busy. And basically we're just like surviving by a thin thread right now. Luckily, school is starting back now. So kids are back in school as of this week. But still, it takes a while to recover and to get back to a sane state. So, things will improve. But for now, you see me sweaty. You see me, tripping over my words, completely unprepared. So, yes, that's how it's going to be today. S-Copy says, no on-screen chat. Yay, I don't have anything to do. Yes, I'm sorry, S-Copy. You don't have any work to do today. There's probably not a way for me to fix that because I see that I have an unbound variable in my scheme code. Surprisingly, like, the overlay still loads up and shows the title of the stream, but obviously it decided that it didn't want to show us the chat. So it is what it is. I'll fix it before next time. I promise. We'll see. Let me say hello to the folks who are here so far. I see Fade, Apurvi, Nakotani, Peter, Vizzle, Glenn, Dave's here. Hey, Dave, haven't seen you in a while. Big Edie, Technomug. Let's see. Yes. All right. So, also on the YouTube side, I see DPX. Not so many people on the YouTube side just yet. Probably people are just like, well, he just keeps canceling streams, so why am I going to bother showing up? I understand that. I know. Like I said, it's been a kind of a busy, crazy time. Last week I had a lot of, yeah. Oh, okay. That makes sense. The SE Live bot died. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, it's been a crazy time. Last week I was very busy with my job and I just didn't have time to get it finished. Peter says, does it get better? Mine are doing masters. I'm not going to repeat what Peter said. I don't know. That you're not really filling me with hope right now, though, I have to say. You're not filling me with hope or reassurance. That's okay, though. All right. Hello, Left Pad. Left Pad's joining. Venom says, is it just me or is the audio track a little bit lagged? Yes, it's another one of the nice little things that happens with my streaming setup sometimes when I plug it in and it just decides all of a sudden that it wants the camera to be about like, 75 milliseconds behind the audio to where it's obvious enough that it's annoying. At least it's annoying to me. I can see myself on the screen there and my mouth is not matching the words. Big E says, damn it, it was close enough that I wouldn't have noticed the lag until it was pointed out. Yes. Left Bass says, busy with my job in quotation marks. Yeah, adding new Emacs configuration items must be real hard. Did you see me making any changes to my configuration over the last week? No, I don't think you did. I was just writing a bunch of JavaScript code. I saw Trev, like when I reconnected to IRC, I saw Trev say that he hopes I'm not too stuck in JavaScript land. Well, that's basically it. I've been stuck in JavaScript land the last couple weeks. Pretty hardcore. That's okay. It's been going well. I've been having fun, As fun as it can be in JavaScript land. Doing some interesting things. Top secret. Not really. So yes, like I said, it will be back more to normal soon. I'll have more of an actual, set of topics to cover. Today's topic is mainly just because I ran into the topic again. DPX says, too bad the streams can't be your job. Well, they kind of were last year. And I kind of decided in the end that it's just better if I have an actual job because it helps me focus. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. Peter says, nice supply chain attack last week in JS land. What happened? Left Bet says, depends on the fans. I'm not going to be depending on anyone to help me to sit at home and do nothing. I'd rather just be employed, I think, at this point. I'm still going to do system scrapper stuff, obviously, but I think I'm a little bit more focused now whenever I'm not completely crushed by job responsibilities. Let's see. Tenno says, at least not a YAML in DevOps role. Yeah, it's not so bad. I wouldn't mind a DevOps role. Ashra says, want to have a quick solution for on-screen chat pop-up buffer to IRC show in Emacs on-screen live. I did that before last week. So the other problem I'm having right now is that I had this excellent XMPP server set up. And at some point, like 2 days ago, the server crashed, and I haven't reconnected to it over KVM to see what happened, but I can't get to it via SSH anymore, so I can't fix XMPP. So my bridge to IRC is down. I can't use all my cool stuff that I had before. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but it's kind of weird because I had an XMPP server running on Geeks for years that wasn't really doing anything, and it stayed up the entire time. So something I did on my machine must have caused it, I don't know if it ran out of memory or something weird happened. Peter says, some crypto bro did a successful phishing on a prolific developer and posted new versions with a Trojan to steal wallets. Wow. Oh, wow. NPM debug and chalk packages compromised. That's crazy. I actually just used the chalk package today. So I hope I didn't get my non-existent crypto wallet stolen. Aikido.dev/blog. I'm curious about this. Starting on September 8th, our Aikido Intel feed alerted us to a series of packages being pushed to NPM which appeared to contain malicious code. 18 very popular packages, including ANSI regex, wrap ANSI. I've seen both those used a lot. Supports color. Probably color name and color string are used literally everywhere. Chalk, obviously. I don't know what debug does, but I mean, based on the download numbers alone, that's probably one of the most popular in the entire list. In fact, okay, I almost thought for a second that they sorted it in reverse popularity order. But yeah, so it looks like ANSI styles is the most popular out of all. Oh, Tenno says, not steal wallets, but rewrite the target crypto addresses. That's pretty crazy that it was able to do that. It targets users, not the servers. So basically, developers who are pulling down NPM packages are having their crypto stolen. That's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. All right, let me put the title here. Exploring Omarchy, a more polished Arch Linux, question mark. And today is September 12th. You see how prepared I am here. September 12th, 2025. In the year of our Dark Lord. All right. Where is my other... There we go. Right there. Okay, right there. So, got that set up. The crazy part is it all started because the dev clicked in a fishy second factor auth email. Wow, that's all it took. Just a fake two-factor auth email, and the whole ecosystem got compromised. Brilliant. They made like 50 TST. What is that? And about $20 in meme coins or something, and uncountable in damage. Well, you know, that's something. Nagotani says, Dark Lord, wow, things got heavy. Hey, you know. I have to keep things interesting. DPX says, isn't CashEOS the best arch? I didn't say the best arch. I just said more polished. So it can be more polished than a stone that you picked up off of the road. I don't know. More polished than what? I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with a title for the stream, guys. Like, what you want me to do? CTS? What is even CTS? Look, you can tell I don't really follow crypto. I know nothing. Ashra says, the dev got a mail by npm-js.help addressed to the correct mail with the correct message, a two-factor auth rollover, which apparently was based on a real mail the devs got. Everything about the mail was fine except for the domain. Well, that's cool. Edge Crusher says, security flaws seem to be a feature of NPM. Well, not necessarily NPM. It's more that it's a very high-value target. You know, the JavaScript ecosystem is a very high-value target because many companies use it, many developers use it. So why wouldn't they be one of the primary audiences for phishing attacks if they wanted to do that? Oh boy, Cal says system cog needs to be 5-pronged. We're not going to turn it into a pentagram. No. Despite what my shell prompt would tell you, I don't worship the devil. Okay, it's all a joke. Maybe. Just kidding. So, news. I also don't have any news because I've been so busy doing things that are not Emacs or Geeks related that I don't know what's going on in the world. I've just been kind of heads down and everything. The only thing I do know is that the Emacs Conf 2025 call for proposals deadline is September 19th, which is coming up soon. That's next week. Next Friday, I think, right? That's a week from now. So if you want to send a proposal for a talk at Emacs Conf 2025, which will be happening December 6th and 7th, you should do that before the end of next week. I hope you've done it already if you plan to do it. I know Cal has done it. I don't know if anybody else has done it. But you should definitely consider it if you are an Emacs enthusiast and you want to give a talk at a conference, because it's pretty low pressure, very short. Talks like 10, 20 minutes, no big deal. You got something interesting you want to talk about, just go submit a proposal. It'd be cool. Peter says, be secure, use Geeks. Yes, it's secure because nobody's going to bother targeting a Geeks user because we're basically, how would I describe it in a way that doesn't sound terrible? Probably the most uninteresting target for attacks of anyone else. Not because the OS itself is particularly secure. Cal says, and the talks are pre-recorded. Yes, that's another big thing. If you don't want to give a live presentation, you don't have to, because I think they don't even let you. Everything's pre-recorded. RJ finds a very diplomatic word, underrepresented. Okay, we're underrepresented in the world of people being phished or attacked. Leftpad says, I will hold a 3-hour talk on Emacs Conf. Why Lisp has lost and why VS Code is vastly superior. I don't think that's going to get accepted. You can try it, see what happens. Auntie says, Geeks is niche in a niche sector. Geeks is basically not even a blip on the radar, I would say. I'm curious to see what role Geeks had to play in my server going down and not responding. CMAX says, yeah, but Geeks Demon has some security filings recently. Yeah, that's because of Nix, though, right? I think it's because of the Nix Demon. Was there one that was, like, uniquely Geeks related? Leftpad says, well, then I will have my own conference with black hats and JS hooks. What kind of hooks? Tenno says security by obscurity, literally. Yes, exactly. So there's that old adage, security by obscurity. If you make it so that things are hard to find or not really even like, reasonable to find, then it will be more secure. And that's what Geeks is. And who said that? My thing scrolled. Nakatone says, oh, sure, blame Nix. Well, I have to, because that's the core of what is being used for the Geeks daemon. I mean, what do you want me to do? I can't argue with the actual architecture. Okay. Cisco says, build LFS. Sure, let me just get that started right now. That'll work. Fade says, Geeks users can't even use their own systems. No attacker will have a hope. Yeah, I can't do that either, really. I don't know what I'm doing with my system. I'm just sort of like plodding along and, upgrading it right before stream time. I didn't do that today. That's not why I was late, okay? I didn't do it today. I almost did it, but it was probably like 4 hours before the stream. It would have been safe, but the reason why I didn't is because this machine that you're looking at right now, well, I'll just show you. I've got so many things open. Where am I? Dot files. I've got so many, stashes, and I've got so many files edited. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have to stash this and deal with pulling things and whatever. I need to start going and checking in all the stuff that actually is relevant, but I don't know. I rarely open this particular machine, so the config just stays behind. Probably for the best too. Auntie, are you trying to close my my parentheses in my configuration? If so, I appreciate it. Hello to Artie. All right. So, any other news aside from the NPM supply chain attack? Left pad. Let's not be doing that. Okay. Some languages may support mixed parens and square braces, but we're not doing that in this channel. Okay. Got to keep it clean. All right. Any other news? Blasphemy, says Fade. Blasphemy, I agree. I mean, why would you want to look at that? Let me just grab the links here before I start talking about it, because why not? Scheme does this. Well, Scheme lets you use square brackets conditionally, but I don't think they will match them if they're not the same type. Maybe I'm wrong about that, though. Maybe that's Mezar. Okay. Close all open forms? What do you mean? Like one square bracket to close all open forms? I don't think so. That would be horrible. That would look awful. I don't think Scheme does that. Scheme's a little bit too structured, I think. In fact, I will tell you one thing that sounds a little bit blasphemous to come from me. After writing Janet a little bit recently, I feel like Scheme is just so verbose that when you look at Scheme code on the screen, it's just so wide and long. And when you look at code written in Janet and probably things like Clojure too, it's just way more compact. I kind of I wish it would be more like that, but that's the way it is. Thank you, Apurv, for reminding me. Give me 1 second to. Oh, okay. I have to actually type this in like a caveman on the other machine because I can't copy it. So codeberg.org 569. If I can read my keys. Slate. So this is a new thing that. Come on. You don't have your name on here. And I don't remember it at the moment. I'm sorry. So, Apurv has written basically an OXO. You've probably seen OXO.st if you've hung around at all in the IRC. Basically, it's a file hosting service that you can just kind of shoot a file at and share it with other people. Well, Apurv has written a thing like that in Guile Scheme. It's called Slate, which is a cool name, I think. That you can host it yourself in Geeks, and it basically gives you the ability to just share files with people by uploading them to a server. I haven't actually tried this yet, but I want to on my server when I actually get it working again. And if you want to install this, there's actually a Geeks channel called Nebula you can use to pull this down. Or you could probably just go set it up yourself if you wanted to. But I think it's probably better to use the package that Apoorv set up. But there is a web UI apparently that you can use. Is there an instance of this hosted somewhere online that a person can take a look at? Let me just check the chat. That is your real name? Okay, just making sure. That's your legal name, Apoorv 569? Okay, makes sense. That surely couldn't make for any legal document problems. 1 second while I figure out how to get back to this machine. Is there a public instance? I don't see it. Uses Datastar. Nice, cool. I should look at a little bit more into the code for this because I haven't actually looked at it at all. But thank you, Apoorv, for reminding me. Let's put that in here. Check out a file sharing site written in Guile scheme. There we go. I feel like an old man looking at my keyboard like that when I have to type in numbers, but this Happy Hacking Keyboard Studio has black letters on black keys on purpose. So that's why it happens. That's why you see me peeking at my keyboard keys, because I literally cannot read them unless I put my head to the side. Nakatani says, it comes with Hyperland, another anime stream. I hope I don't see any waifus in this. I don't think I will, though. I don't think that DHH is that kind of person. I'm not casting aspersions at anyone, okay? I'm just saying, I got a feeling that his aesthetic is in a different place, let's say. LeftPad says, Mr. 569, please behave. You were already called out twice on stream. He's not being called out. I'm sharing the work that he did. All right. So today, let's check out Omarchy. Okay. A while back, famous developer, creator of 37 Signals and Ruby on Rails and, general raconteur, David Hennemeyer Hansen, probably not pronouncing that right, decided to switch to Linux. And I think that the main reason was that he just hates Apple with a burning passion now after what Apple was doing to developers on the App Store. Just a lot of fun things that, Apple is doing to squeeze every last dollar out of the people who try to make products for the platform. Anyway, he decided to start using Linux, and he made a project called Omarchy, which is basically a customization of Ubuntu, because that's the first distro that he started using. So it was meant to make the experience a bit nicer, more of a curated experience for developers, something that sticks to his aesthetics. And I think this kind of went on for a while. I heard about it last year, I believe. But at some point, I believe he decided that he wanted to use Arch as the basis instead. So there was a new project called Omarchy that got started up, which is more interesting to people like us because it's based on Arch Linux. And the installation is basically just a script, but it's quite nice looking. I've started up a little bit. I haven't actually installed it myself yet. We're going to figure that out today, provided that it works right. Well, I don't think that the project is going to have a problem. I think my computer might have a problem. We'll see. This is the kind of thing that usually happens here. Point being, this is an opinionated Arch plus Hyperland setup by DHH. This is his project. Let's see. Just in case you don't know who this person is, just go check out his website, I guess. He's been around for a very long time. I remember watching talks of his back in I don't know, how long ago was that? 2005? Probably earlier than that. Anyway, point being, a known person, specifically in the Ruby community, Ruby on Rails, etc., also on the internet in general. Also somewhat polarizing. So I'm not saying that I'm a fan necessarily. I'm just saying, this person made this, and we're going to check it out. So let's not, make too many assumptions here. So here's the main website. One thing that you kind of like, that I kind of like, by default, is just the nice BBS style logo they have here that shows up a few times in the installation process, etc. Pretty nice general website setup. I mean, it's kind of a demo video here. We're not going to watch that. It does have a manual that we're going to look through, but you can download the ISO here to get started. How big was that? Okay, it's 1.4 gigabytes, so not too big, not too small. And obviously, the GitHub if you want to go check out the GitHub. So we'll look at the manual real quick and see how it describes itself. Omarchy is an omakase distribution. That's some Japanese stuff there. I don't know what that means. What does it mean? I think it means take what you want kind of thing. Leave it up to you. I'll leave it up to you or chef's choice. So I think it basically means that it's been designed for you, which is fine. I mean, that's the way it is. Distribution based on Arch Linux and the tiling window manager Hyperland. It ships with just about everything a modern software developer needs to be productive immediately. Everything from NeoVim, bleh. Just kidding. The Spotify, is that number 2? The number 2 most important thing a developer needs is Spotify. You heard that first. Chromium. So Spotify is more important than Chromium for developers. I would agree with that personally, because I listen to music when I'm writing code, but I don't necessarily think that I can live without Chromium if I'm doing web development. You can't look at a website you're developing in Spotify, so I don't know. Thank you, the left pad, for getting a clip of that. Okay, anyway, Chromium to Typora and Alacrity to LibreOffice. I don't think that I've used Okay, I've used LibreOffice once maybe in the past 5 years. I don't know. Do developers need that? Hell, even Zoom is there. Well, Zoom is more likely to be necessary. This isn't just a grab bag of pre-installed packages, though. It's a complete system designed with both aesthetics and productivity in mind, because a beautiful system is a motivating system. I agree with that. And productivity has always been downstream from motivation. However, the concept of beauty is different from person to person. And something like Elementary OS, while it is aesthetically pleasing, I don't consider it beautiful in the way that I would want to use it. So one thing I will say is that I think that this thing is more in line with my aesthetic sense than something like Elementary OS. Big Edie says, you've given up on Vim, B, Qt browser, etc. Me? I don't know. Like, I just end up having problems with them every once in a while, and I just lazily go back to Firefox. Porf says, I haven't switched to Wayland yet to use in my DWM setup. Probably it's fine. I don't know. I found that Wayland in general is more stable for my use case, but I kind of miss Xorg sometime. Dave says, between this being a DHH project and it promoting Spotify, I wouldn't touch this. Yeah, I don't know why it's promoting Spotify out of the gate. It's kind of weird. All right. Where was I? True that developing an eye for the beauty of a TUI-heavy, theme-delighted tiling window manager system like Omarchy can be an acquired taste, but that's why you're here, experience something a little outside of your comfort zone. Well, not out of our comfort zone. We're pretty familiar with this stuff. To embark on a little bit of an adventure into a new way of working with computers, not really. But, I'm not the target user of this, I suppose. Isn't like Windows, it's not like Mac OS either. All right, fine. So it's a sales pitch for people who aren't Linux users, I guess. Getting started, installed using an ISO, tells you how to set up the ISO. Then it starts up the installation process. Now, you'll see here that I actually did start running the Omarchy setup in a VM, because I don't have a raw machine available to set this up on. And it started complaining to me already that it can't find Wi-Fi. I don't know why it needs Wi-Fi immediately. I guess they're trying to show that you could get Wi-Fi here, but let's see if I can figure out how to do this without the Wi-Fi check. Yes, the dark red font is kind of hard to read. Let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit. View scale display. What is it? Not resize the VM. There's something else. Get rid of this UI on top. I mean, why am I seeing that? The menus are wrong now. Scale display. Only when full screen. I feel like there was a different menu for this. Auto resize with VM window. Okay, maybe it's scaling fine as it is. As a Z shell command not found 2. Fine. All right, so let me get out of here. Nothing mentioned here. Use a wired. Sure. Retry the installer. Manual installation for special needs. Okay, let me actually see if there's anything here that we can use. If you're on Wi-Fi, start by running IW control. What if you're not? If you're on Ethernet, you don't need this. Maybe my VM doesn't have internet set up correctly. So let me check that out real quick. It's right here, right? Network. Okay, where is it? Sound. Somebody's yelling at me right now to, oh, does it not even have a network device? Yeah, it's right there, Nick. Can't remember, is this supposed to be a bridge? I don't think it's a bridge, right? User mode should be good enough. Somebody remind me the right way to set up networking in QEMU, because apparently I didn't do it right to begin with. I could change it to E1000. I feel like I've had problems with VirtIO at times. Yeah, let me restart this thing and let's see what happens. I'll turn it off. It's just shutting down, it seems. All right, let me start it up again. Run. Try another ISO first. For example, a small rescue ISO. I don't know. I shouldn't need to do that, should I? Let's see what it does. Shouldn't it? Wait, geeks? Oh. Control L, Alt L to release pointer. Thought that's what I did. Not a bootable disk. Now, why doesn't it have the actual ISO? No media selected. Browse. I swear I set this up. Right there. Choose volume. Apply. Now reboot. Are you going to do it? Force reset. Yes. This is going great already. It's not Omarchy's fault. It's my fault for not being prepared. Okay, I'm going to force it off. And then we're going to start over. Shut off. I'll make sure that the drive is connected. Omarchy online. Okay. I'm going to run it. No bootable device. What is happening? Boot failed, not a bootable disk. I'm going to recreate the VM because I don't know what's happening right now. All right, so let's just force this off. Yes. What is boot order? Probably wrong. If that answers your question, we're just going to delete it. No, I don't want to delete that. Check your boot order. Is that something that's in the configuration? Is it BIOS config or something? Boot options. How about that? Thank you. There we go. Arch install medium. Okay, maybe it will boot up into what I expect to see once it gets through the normal boot up process. We'll see. Maybe it will. All right, cool. So now we're at the Omarchy screen. Omarchy ISO installation failed. Detecting network. Maybe this time it will work. Because it seems to be thinking at least. Scanning Wi-Fi. Okay, so it must not detect a network device, which is very strange. I don't want to bridge it, dude. All right. QEMU, bridge network, user mode, not working. Yeah, if you're having trouble with delay on the stream on YouTube, I would say go to Twitch. All right, so we were able to get the DNS of Google, but we're not actually getting any ping to Google. Yeah, the DNS works, but we can't get out of the computer. So there is something going on with the networking here. Probably bridge is not the right term to use here. You have a firewall in the host system. I shouldn't. Too many links. Good Lord. All the pop-ups. Okay, ping doesn't work. Bridge, we need to create a bridge device. Yeah, I really don't want to have to do that. Oh. Okay, so pinging doesn't work. Curling does work. What? Sure. IPCA, thank you. All right, so there is an Ethernet device. It's up. It has an IP address. Okay, so I'm not worried about the ICMP, but it is strange that they don't detect the network device in the VM. There was something about manual installation. Where is it? Download the ISO. When you're on Wi-Fi, then type scan, pick your network, enter the password, run Arch install, and pick these options. Oh, so that's just basically installing Arch. Troubleshooting. Why is the caps lock working? External speakers, Bluetooth, sudo. That's so strange. So, let's see. What was the script that it said that it was using? Yeah, I don't really need to ping because I think we're good. My GW, my Guild Wars. I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Look, I'm not worried about that part. The problem is that the installer is not detecting the network. Local share. Omarchy installed the SH. Guild Wars, yes. Someone mentioned Guild Wars to me the other day. Local share Omarchy install. This is going great. There is no such folder. So why are we being told to go there? Local share Omarchy install.sh. There's automated script.sh right there. Wait, hold on. Okay. QR code. Yes, I am root. I am Groot. Let's see if I remember how to use... Oh, let's see. Is Emacs on here? Ah, come on. Of course it's not. Network. Wi-Fi. At least MG should be there. I don't know about that. You can retry later by running automated script. Arch install. Configurator. Okay, so I think configurator is the trick here. So vim.configurator. What is it now? Configurator. Wi-Fi. Network. Optional when running offline installation. Where is the offline? I heard that was actually being made, but... Network not needed. Wi-Fi needed. Can I run it without Wi-Fi needed? Scanning Wi-Fi. Couldn't find Wi-Fi network. So we're literally just assuming working network. It's pinging to try to see if the network is working. So if we got the network working, so if Wi-Fi is needed or not a working network, either way, it's going to try to do that. It's going to check it. And the way that it checks it is if it does a ping. So how am I going to get this set up right? Good point. Good point. Okay. Should I return true? God, I'm using Emacs key bindings in here. This is how much has changed in the last 2 years. I don't even remember Vim key bindings. What the hell is happening? I'm pressing N. That's what's happening. GG. Yeah, there we go. I'm remembering some things now. Remove the ping check. All right, so remove the ping check, and then I need to put Wi-Fi not needed, right? Wi-Fi needed. Wi-Fi needed false. We're gonna hack this thing. Watch this. So Wi-Fi needed false. Configurator. No such device. Which? At least it's not waifu needed. That's correct. That's not how the -n check works. What is going on here? This is failing miserably. What am I doing wrong? Use network not needed? Is that really what? I think that it's going to fail in other ways, right? Maybe. I hope it doesn't screw this up. Let's see, configurator. Password, foobar. Foobar. Full name, guy who broke Omarchy. Email address used for Git authentication, foo@bar.com. Host name, foobar. Time zone, Athens. There you go. All right, here we go. Does this look right? Sure. Install disk, format the disk. Okay. Then we do the automated thing. Wait, what just happened? Okay, I'll probably have to do the export again, right? Oh, wait. It started working, didn't it? Let's try this again. Again. Foobar. Foobar. Guy who broke Omarchy. Foo@bar.com. Foobar. Athens. Yes. Please install. I think it's doing something this time. Then it says they use the Charm CLI tool for a lot of the UI. It seems so. Okay. They're counting down now. We're formatting. I hope that it actually installs stuff from the internet when it comes time. Nakatani says, by the end, we'll have our own Arch install script. Maybe. Okay. It's pulling things from the internet. We didn't have to do all that dance. I think the script needs to be a little bit more robust. Shouldn't depend on ping. You should probably check to see if there is an Ethernet interface that's up. There must be a command you can use to script that. Leftbat says, stream suddenly ends. VM Disk was using the real one. Well, no. Thankfully, I'm not that dumb today. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Shouldn't take that long. I mean, it's doing fine so far, and it's downloading things in parallel, which is great. Hopefully it's not saturating the connection and affecting the stream. All right. Tenno says they worked on streamlining and speeding up the install a lot over the last month. Yeah, part of the reason probably was because DHH did a keynote at RubyConf or RailsConf just now talking about how fast the installation is. Or how fast it should be. Seems pretty fast. Looks like it's getting pretty close to being done already. I mean, I like the idea of having a script that just sets everything up just to be fast and, you know, having a good base experience. Exactly, Tenno. But versus calculating the geeks derivation, ... That takes forever. And he says, you have a good ISP connection? Well, earlier today, it was not good at all. It was falling all the time. I'm about to get fiber, though, probably within a month. Thank God. It is definitely Pac-Man. Peter says, the speed up is just condensing the info gathering script. Yeah, probably. I don't know what else they might have done. They act as if they encrypt the disk by default. I don't know how they're encrypting it without a passphrase. Nakatani says the regular Arch install script is a pretty good base experience. I haven't installed Arch in probably 10 years. So I don't even know what it's like anymore to install Arch. Tenno says Pac-Man with their own CDN-based package repo. Okay. Cool. Looks like we're cloning the Omarchy repo into my .local folder. Setting up environment variables. What is this now? The additional packages including Spotify, Chromium, an Omarchy branded Chromium, LibreOffice, Noto fonts, probably for all the emojis, and 1Password. Arch has an installer now? Wow, where have I been? I like how they have what it appears to be little Pac-Mans eating Cheerios going through the progress bars here. Is that what that is? Does that look like little Pac-Mans eating Cheerios here? Or the little dots that are inside the Pac-Man board? Whatever you would call it. Well, I do use 1Password as a developer. I use 1Password extensively, so I guess that's true. Tenno says they fork Chromium for theme changes on the fly. I did see that there's something about like automatically setting up the theme. I don't know if they're doing it based on the background image or they have something else there, but that's kind of cool, I guess. Nakatani says you've been living under a Parthenon for the last 10 years, maybe 5. I've been here almost 5 years. Can you believe it? Why is that a 1 GB plus ISO if it's installing everything from the repository either way? That's a great question. They have been working on an offline version of the installer. I don't know if this is it. Obviously, it's downloading things. Yeah, I moved here in... Okay, I'm exaggerating. So it's almost 4 years. But it is 4 years. I came here in 2021 in October. Electron, great. It's taking a while. It's still downloading a bunch of stuff. A lot of really big pre-built applications here, and Rust also, apparently. Then it says, it's a kitchen sink distro for 37 signals devs, basically the get court machine set up in 5 minutes kind of deal. Yeah, that's the impression I got from watching the keynote that he did. They basically want to have everyone using a consistent Linux setup and set it up really fast. Big Edie says, what the heck is up with the Pac-Man progress bar? I think it's kind of cute. It's interesting. It's a nice touch. I'm sure it's Pac-Man doing that, not Omarchy. Me either. One day we'll get in there and we can actually see what this thing looks like. One day. It may not be today, but one day we will. Maybe installing it inside of a VM is not the fastest way to get started. We got Clang, we got GCC. They're right next to each other. They're going to fight it out. Docker, Hyperland. 600 packages to go. Does it say that? Oh, holy shit. It does say that. Why is it so slow? Didn't it just install a whole bunch of things? Good Lord. What is happening? Right, left pad, Clang and GCC. Cats and dogs living together under the same roof. Why? It's got Caden Live in here too. Okay, we're going too far now. .NET runtime? Why are we doing that to ourselves? Why is .NET showing up in here already? I feel like if I end up having to install .NET on Linux, something went wrong. I don't mean that as a slight to the people who write .NET or people who use .NET. I just feel like for my personal purposes, if .NET has found its way on my Linux machine, I've gone off track somehow. That's just me, though. I do have a .NET folder somewhere on one of my machines, and I keep tripping over it when I try to get to my .dot files folder. I end up going to the .NET folder, and it drives me nuts. Yes, Ashraz, go have some dinner while you watch Pac-Man eat Cheerios. Okay, we're making progress now. Apparently, all the biggest packages are front-loaded, and now we've got all the tiny packages that are just shooting through. I see some familiar things in here, like Fuzzy Find. What if you unplug the connection right now? I'm not going to bother trying that, because then we'll never get this done. Yes, 500 packages. We're moving faster now. We've gone through the beginning of the hockey stick. Now the speed is picking up. Okay, there we go. Look at that. The rest of it must be just configuration files inside of packages. Checking package integrity. Well, the one thing I care about is integrity. Checking for file conflicts. Yeah, let's go. We're doing this all. We're installing now. Okay. I really don't feel bad about the time it takes to apply a Geek System configuration now, because this is taking a while. Maybe it's faster if you have a top-of-the-line desktop machine with, 42 cores or something. The sub 5-minute installation of Omarchy that happened on the keynote talk was done on a framework desktop machine, which is pretty beefy. So it makes sense that it would be very fast on that. And probably a very fast network connection as well. Hey, Gun. And he says it could be faster with 100 gig connection and 128 cores. That's for sure. Goodness. We're still going and going. No chat mirror today? No, unfortunately, that's broken right now, as everything else is here. System crafting has its downsides and things being broken half the time. More than half the time. That's one of them. What is Typora? Anybody know what that is? Is that like a LaTeX thing? Or something else? I feel like we're almost there, but I felt like that about 5 minutes ago. So I'm not sure exactly how much longer we'll be waiting. But hopefully it's worth the wait. And in the meantime, maybe we should be looking at Typora is focused markdown writing. Okay, well, I feel like that's what NeoVim and Emacs would be good for. Already says, ever tried installing Haiku OS? I thought about doing it one day. I don't know if we did it once in the stream. I have thought about it. I might have done it myself before. It seems cool, but it doesn't seem very, very practical to me. So that's why I haven't really tried to do it. Everything in Omarchy happens via the keyboard. Everything. Okay. When the system first starts, you literally can't do a thing with a mouse alone. You can hit super space to reveal the application launcher. I hope I can do that with my setup here, probably if I have full screen. Super alt space to open the Omarchy menu. Sorry, I'm getting tired watching Pac-Man here. What did it say? Hello. I have to find the magic key binding. But the application launcher is not intended to be the main way to operate the system most of the time. It can get faster than that. Most important applications are bound directly to the individual hotkeys. You can start a browser with Super B and a terminal with Super Return. Try doing one after the other. You'll see the magic of Hyperland's tiling in action. Okay. Super J to stack them horizontally instead of vertically. Okay, sure. Super J again to return them horizontal positions. Super plus shift plus arrow right while in the browser to swap the windows. Super T to start the activity monitor. Super F to open the files manager. Yuck, graphical file manager, no way. Just kidding. You navigate between the window you want to be with a super arrow. This will switch focus and move the cursor. Super shift 2, you move first. Focus application into the second workspace. Yeah, it's pretty typical key bindings. So close a window on Super W and turn a window into free floating with Super V. Okay. It costs money? Typora costs money? Already says that Haiku has the fastest install that they've ever seen. Okay. Wait, where is... Oh, I've been missing in the YouTube chat up until now. Ignacio says, I'll do a Geeks poll while this finishes. Or seems to be okay, I guess. Next review will be DTOS. Probably not. All right. Let's see. How did I move this back here? Put that right back there. I think it must have gone back to the boot menu. So let me go and take that out of the configuration real quick, or at least just put that, swap around the boot options. Move that up so it gets booted first. Now we're going to start it up and see what happens. All right, Omarchy bootloader, that looks nice. I don't know if that's a custom thing or something else. Cool. Now, what's the password? Okay, it's my password. I don't know if that's the best idea. If the key for unlocking the encrypted volume is the same as your password. Maybe it is. I don't know. Looks pretty good so far. Let me try to full screen this appropriately so that we can do things. Super space. That's mine. That's my super space. There we go. Now it actually went in. All right, so they got an application launcher here. I see ChatGPT here is already. Basecamp, obviously, they're going to put that there. Alacrity. Did it launch it, or did I just press enter and it did nothing? Okay. This is going to be pretty slow here. So I guess the trick here is that everything is super customized by default. You can already see that with LS, I think this must be EXA. So which LS? Read link LS. Read link which LS. Am I doing something wrong here? Maybe it's just set up like that, period. Yeah, okay, whatever. LS version. EXA. EXA? It's not EXA? Okay, anyway. Alacrity is slow because it uses GPU and you're inside a VM? Probably so. It has a moose. It is Ezza. Okay, fine. Thank you. Anyway, that's definitely Ezza. They got nice little icons here. Sure, great, fine, whatever. LS templates. LS downloads. LS documents. Pretty empty here. Is there like a tree command here? No, there's not a tree command. All right, fine. Ezza is probably a fork. Yes, I thought it was Exa, right? Maybe they changed something. Cat bash profile. Vim. NeoVim. I'm typing wrong keys. Bash RC. NeoVim? What's happening? Why did it do that? Okay, we're setting up packages in NeoVim apparently. In Vim, you could tell I don't use NeoVim because I didn't know it was in Vim. But apparently they already had a terminal set up for that. Thank you, thank you. What was that? Super J to make it horizontal. There's nice little animations going on here too, and I don't get to see them very well because of the lack of GPU, but you can see it kind of moving around. To me, I don't need the animation. I don't need it to be switching around like that. It doesn't really do anything for me, personally. Fade says, isn't DHH famously a NeoVim guy? I don't think so. I think he was using other stuff until more recently. All right, this appears to be lazy Vim. Whoa, what just happened? Oh, so Super F is file manager. I was expecting it to be full screen in the app. Can I do this? Can I click and drag like a idiot? No, I can't, obviously. Okay, anyway. Command line, E. Where am I? Bash RC? Sure. All right, source, local share, Omarchy, default bash RC. So everything seems to be in this file. Wow, what did I just do? I'm using Emacs key bindings. I'm gonna have to destroy this nice little setup by putting Emacs on here because I'm completely like lost now. We don't need cute anime girl wallpapers there, Cal. All right, let's do this so I can actually see what I'm doing. Also, is there a way to increase the size of this? Not that. What was it? Shift. What the hell just happened? Okay, that's how you hide the taskbar, apparently. I know how to quit Vim, Big Edie. Thank you for that. I'm trying to make the damn text bigger. I'm trying to quit other things. I want to make the text bigger. Bigger text. Why did they change the background? That's curious. Did I hit a menu button that I didn't know that was there? So hold on. Let me out. Let me out, for God's sake. Thank you. All right. Wayland display scaling. Now, I want to make the terminal text bigger because I think that I should be able to hit a key binding for that, right? Anyway. Okay. Control plus. I think I pressed that and it didn't work. Control plus. It didn't do anything. Control shift equal. Control plus. I'm going to complain. Wait, hold on. Control scroll wheel. No! Anyway, whatever. I don't care. What do these icons here do? Do they actually open anything? I don't know what's running the bar. What bar is this? It's popping things up and they disappear immediately. What is this? Is that the Omarchy menu? Okay. Apps, learn. For Alacrity, it's control equal, is it? How about that? Thank you to Apur for fixing my my problem. All right, now that's bigger. Can you see that? I can see it much better because I'm an old man. I can't read. So let's get back into this menu. I'm kind of curious about what's in here. If my mouse will cooperate, for God's sake. There was a key binding for that I was trying to look for that I had seen mentioned. I want to see more about themes, but first I want to see what it said about the... There was an application key with super space and super alt space. There it is. Apps. It's the same thing we already saw. All right, next is learn, capture, toggle. What's toggle do? Screensaver. Can I turn it on? I saw that the screensaver is kind of cool. Okay, screensaver disabled. I didn't actually want that. There we go. Toggle screensaver. I'll put it back on. Left pad says alternative title. Geeks enthusiast loses his mind on this weird arch-based distribution. Content warning. Yeah, we don't need a content warning. What did I just see there? Was that a space? That looks kind of cool. Which NeoVim package is this? E. Capital E. Capital E. 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 Space capital E. There we go. That's kind of weird though, isn't it? It's just writing things over the top of the other stuff that's on the screen. Sorry, I got a little distracted. Lazy Git. I saw that you can run Lazy Git inside of NeoVim. Yeah, sure, why not? Branch name foo. I don't care. Yeah, look at that. Lazy Git running directly inside of NeoVim. Thanks, left pad. I did say that, didn't I? Anyway, can I get out of that? All right, fine. Let's get back to the actual menu. This is obviously not a very prepared walkthrough because I'm just trying to figure this out as I go. We can change themes. I kind of like the cappuccino latte. What's it doing? Okay, it loaded a new theme there. Whoa. Okay, not latte apparently because it's gonna blind everyone. Big Edie says Osaka Jade is beautiful. Well, let's try to go there because my eyes are being melted at the moment. How long will it take? Okay, we got kind of a cyberpunk background going on there. That's cool. Did it actually update the theme in here? I don't know if I like all the green though. I know that's heretical to say because Matrix is cool, but I don't know. Groovebox, not so sure. Tokyo Night, love Tokyo Night. Is that where it starts? Okay, that's where the moose is. Whoa, sure, yeah, we got themes. That's great. What are the other style things? They say you can change fonts. Does it change the font in the editor too? What do we use? JetBrains Mono. What does it use by default? Okay. It changes it in the editor also. That's kind of nice that it's, so integrated that the editor changes as well. Gun says, what about cool system crafter mirror shades as merch? That's a great idea, actually. Tokyo Moose. Style menu, font. What haven't we seen before? I've never seen Nimbus Mono. Yuck. It's like your grandfather's typewriter. What's going on with that? IA Writer. Yeah, okay. That's kind of nice, I suppose. Azure Glow looks really nice. Let's try that. Theme. It's not in here. Ever Forest. Is that another green one? What's the deal with all the green themes? That one's kind of like a Nord theme, almost. All right, anyway. We're just kind of cruising through. What else is in style? Background screensaver. Does it show the screensaver? I want to see that screensaver that I saw in the demo. What am I looking at right now? And why is it showing it to me? What is happening? Get out of my face. Okay, I see this is the Omarchy logo. Why am I looking at it? Branding screensaver. Exit, please. Thank you. Where was I? Style? No. Yeah. All right, so apparently it's just a text file where you can change the text that shows up in the screensaver. How do I invoke it? Screensaver. Is there a, let's see, learn. Key bindings, thank you. Okay. No key bindings listed. Interesting. It's time already. Time for what? Is that font in here? Cascadia. Okay. Whoops. I don't know what I just did. Background. What does it do? Just cycle the backgrounds? I don't know what's happening. Maybe use hyper idle or something. Yeah, it is time to install Emacs, it seems. Okay, let's see. Setup. What's in setup? Audio, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, power profile. Okay, that's cool. What do these actually load, I wonder? Key bindings. Opens the file. Okay, cool. Is there a screensaver in here somewhere? Why are the lazy Luas angry? Who knows? Wait, Super A gets you straight to Chat GPT? I don't know, man. Like, do we really need a key binding straight to Chat GPT? I don't really feel like that is necessary. Do I need a key binding to go straight to YouTube? No, I don't need more distractions than I already have. Do I need a key binding to go to x.com? I definitely don't need a key binding to go to x.com. Come on now. That is like an egregious waste of key binding space, in my opinion. WhatsApp? Obsidian, okay, that's fine. Signal, Docker, Super D. What's that gonna do? Ooh. So there's a lazy Docker interface. It's kind of like the lazy Git, but for Docker. That's cool. That's not a bad thing. I've never seen that before, actually. What else? Super M is for music. What does that do? Spotify? Of course it does Spotify. Okay. And it's not scaled appropriately, apparently. What'd I just do? Why can't I close it? Wrong key binding. Let's see. What else? Super T opens up BTOP. That's cool. I like BTOP. Oh, terminal size too small. Well, that's just my screen, I tell you. Felinox says, as a dev, I say I don't need any of those key bindings. Yeah, this is definitely a setup for people who are more used to other systems, I think. Which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. It looks pretty and everything, but I don't think I would personally feel comfortable in this environment. Out of the box, I have different expectations. Browser, Super B, fine. File manager, Super return terminal. Okay. And this is a hyperland configuration. What else is in this folder? No. .config, hyper, what? Hyper idle. So let's see. Lock command, Omarchy lock screen. What happens if I try to run that directly? Let's see. I want to see what this screensaver looks like. Omarchy lock screen. Is that it? Is it really? They have some fancy screensaver. I'm waiting for it to see if it will run. Ignacio says, I still don't understand what is the target audience for this flavor. People who, I guess, are used to being software developers on Mac, maybe. Maybe screensaver is just a lock screen. I mean, that's what I thought it was. And we're here right now. Wait. Authentication failed. Can I type at least? Thank you. Is Emacs not included? Of course not. Of course not. What is it? Pacman-S Emacs? Is that the right way to do that? Sudo Pacman-S Emacs. There we go. Emacs 30.2. Let's see if we can open up Emacs and feel a little bit more comfortable in here. Installing Emacs. Now my fingers will work. Emacs. And the icons are ginormous. Exit. All right. Whoa. All right, so let's get out of this one too. Even this one. I'm just gonna poop all over the Omarchy experience here. No, I don't want to save changes to bash RC. Get the menu bar out of here. Get that menu bar out of here. Menu bar mode. Wait, I'm sorry? Yeah, get out of here. Toolbar mode. And then, no. Load theme. Modus Vivendi tinted. Is that right? Jeez. Yes, did I type that? Oh, sure, I could type that, but you know, I'm more used to just evaling Emacs Lisp. I love the enormous scroll bar. Doesn't that just look good? Scroll bar mode. All right, let's get that out of here too. What beautifully round toolbar icons. That's the whole point of using something like Hyperland, right? It's just to get round icons, round corners, etc. I feel a lot better now that we're in a familiar experience. So, what else? What else are we thinking right now? I guess I should look at what else is in the menu. So there's update, there's remove, there's install. What does that do? TUI. Let's create a TUI shortcut that you can start with the app launcher. TUI Fui. Launch command. Emacs. Floating window. Icon URL. I don't know. It didn't create it. Fooey hooey. Oh, we got a calculator. Oh, wow. Okay. What is that? Just the GNOME calculator? About calculator. Where do you come from? I'm completely unfamiliar with GNOME apps anymore. If there's no icon, it doesn't exist. You think so? It's possibly right. What about .local? Share applications. TUI. My TUI Fui is not in here. So I don't believe that it actually did anything. What else we got in here? Docker. That's the lazy Docker. Yeah, all the other things here that we saw before. What is this Typora? Typora. Hello. This is text. Night. Okay, I don't get it. I already got Emacs, and it does a lot more than that. Boo. Okay, sure. Whatever. Yes. I'll discard that. Thank you. All right. Let's see what else. You mean BTOP? What was that? Super T? There it is. The font looks a little bit wrong, I think. What was it? Super V to make it a pop-up window? Can I resize that by grabbing on corners? Very small targets. Let me click. It's not working. Do I need to use a super? I hold super? No. Whatever. Peter says, that's the point with those markdown editors. They do almost nothing in the... I'm very sorry about that. I'm very sorry about that. I'm surprised I was able to actually get that back up again. I'm sorry if I deafened anyone. That must have been static. So can you hear me now? Apparently something happened and it made my audio device turn off for a moment. But it seems to be back up again. I'm seeing the audio levels moving again. Good Lord. Now it's time for Neri. Is Neri even in here? I don't want to bother with that right now. I don't think you can hear the music anymore either. Let me see if I can check the audio real quick. Desktop audio disabled. Desktop audio and the other device. There it is. There's music again. Okay. Music's back. I'm really sorry there for the audio gaff. I almost said gaffu. So should I just check the manual real quick and see if there's anything else that we're missing here? Let me just check the manual real fast. All right, navigation, we saw that page already. Themes. Let's see. Super control space for backgrounds to rotate. Don't care too much. Make your own theme. Tokyo Night. Capuchin, Everforest, Groovebox, Osaka Jade, Kanagawa. That one looks all right. Nord, oh, they have an actual Nord theme. Cool. Matte Black, that looks pretty sick. Ristretto, that's nice. And some light colored themes, sure. Lock Suspend, Super Escape. Han says, only Emacs people are discussing Emacs versus Vim. I actually don't discuss Emacs versus Vim at all because it's irrelevant to me. Like, use whatever you want to use. I don't want to use Vim. That's all that matters. All right, let's see. Screenshot of region, screenshot of window. Sure. Color picker. Dismiss all notifications. Pick a new theme. No Solarize? I thought I saw Solarize in the list, but maybe I didn't. Cat's Eye says light themes for the little psychos. Yeah, I'm not sure who uses light themes, but I feel like if I use a light theme, my eyesight would be dying within about a year. Why are themes called like coffee recipes? Because it's supposed to make you feel all warm and fuzzy, I guess. Calls to mind the scent of espresso in the morning, I guess. I don't know. Can I just see the damn screensaver? How do I turn the screensaver on? Light themes are for the little psychos. Now that's pretty good. Turn down brightness. sidebar. Okay, this is NeoVim with Lazy Vim. All right, cool. Quick emojis, caps lock MS. Of course, we want to have a drooling emoji as a key binding. Complete emoji picker. Okay, hold on a second. So caps lock MS. Hey, Max. Caps lock M. No. Wait, hold on. I don't have a caps lock key on my machine. Okay. I don't want to, like, do that thing, but Emacs has quick emojis too. Control 8. Control X8 enter. Drool. Drooling face. It's read-only buffer. Go to the scratch buffer. Control X8 enter. Somebody's going to be like, this is not a good key binding. Drooling face. There you go. How about that? Control X8 enter. Blow fish. Explode. What was the head exploding one? Shocked face with exploding head. Boom. There you go. Why you need the other things when you only need Emacs, people? Just kidding. Hey, Mars. Menu system screensaver. Thank you, Mars. So, menu system screensaver. Here is the vaunted screensaver. It looks cool. And apparently you can set your own text in that text file for it to do this to the screensaver instead. I mean, that's a pretty sick screensaver. I gotta say, like, I'm talking some crap about other things, but this is pretty dope. I like this. I don't know who made this. I don't know if this is a program that other people can take and use on other distros, but it's pretty sick. Pretty sick. All right, let's see. Go back to the docs. That looks cool. All right, so we got the emoji things. Oh, you want to type an M dash so that you can pretend to be ChatGPT whenever you're writing emails to people? Then you can use caps lock space if you have the caps lock key, which I don't. And if you really want to automatically type out your name or your email without having to type it, you can hit caps lock space N or caps lock space E. It's not a terrible idea. It's just, I wouldn't have thought to bind those. Let's see. You can add more of your own. Sure. The applications, NeoVim. Yeah. Check out Primogen series. Infinitely configurable. Sure. Typecraft from setting of NeoVim up from scratch. Lazy Vim basics. So basically it's a little Vim guide here. Shell tools. Z-Oxide. So some of the things we were talking about last or week before last apparently are showing up here as well. FZF and Z-Oxide, ripgrep, EZA, FD. Okay. Shell functions to simplify common tasks, formatting disks, image conversions, compression, TUIs, lazy git, lazy docker, btop, impala. Okay, that's cool. I haven't heard about that. Fast fetch shows system information. All right. Obsidian Penta, basic image editing tool. Okay, haven't heard of that. Local send is for sending files to other devices. Signal, MPV, OBS Studio, Kden Live. Yes, me too, Nakatani. He says, my takeaway is checking out Lazy Docker. That does seem kind of useful. Commercial GUIs, 1Password, Typora. Like Obsidian uses Markdown for formatting. It also uses Electron. But in a way that is focused on writing individual pieces or essays and very little else. There's already NeoVim on the machine. Typora is pointless, in my opinion, unless you really just want to see the text get bigger. And if you want to do that, just put in Emacs and you can do that. You can set the face sizes for the individual heading sizes or heading levels. So just do that. You don't need no stinking Typora that wants to charge you money for something that is basically Notepad. in my opinion. I don't know. I don't want to piss off anybody who likes Typora, but I just kind of feel like it's a waste. It comes with a 15-day free trial for a Markdown editor. Okay. And a $15 one-time cost. $15 that you might as well kind of feel like it's a waste. It comes with a 15-day free trial for a Markdown editor. Okay. And a $15 one-time